Composed of vocalist Billie Joe Armstrong, bassist Mike Dirnt, and drummer Trey Cool, Green Day is a punk band from California, though some would argue that their unique style brings in a kind of identity that goes beyond genre. The story of this band starts with a dream from youth. At just 15 years old, Armstrong and Dirnt met each other in high school and shared the same passion for wanting to create music. After meeting up with some other friends, the young band known as Sweet Children was formed. Sweet Children gained a lot of popularity locally and would have many opportunities to play together. Eventually, when the album 39 Smooth was released, their name changed to Green Day. Through the early years, Armstrong and Dirnt stayed consistent members, but the rest of the band had a history of changing out. This state of change ended in 1991 when Trey Cool had joined the group. Cool's inclusion finished the iconic trio, and this group has stayed the same even after all these decades. If there's one thing that this group wanted to do, it was to stand out from the crowd and do what they want.
It's like super group, dinosaur rock and just kind of do what we always do, and just we wanted to make it just like a straightforward punk record, just like in your face all the time.
No cutting to the guitar solos.
No long, tangents of any kind,
Green Day's desire to break norms and be something led to the release of their album Dookie in 1994, which gained massive levels of popularity and established Green Day as a key player in the music world. After releasing Dookie, Green Day wanted to do something to stand out even more. They wanted a unique idea and pursued it, not caring if it would be popular or not. Working tirelessly for years, this new passion project seemed like a gamble. However, their effort paid off as the 2004 album American Idiot was an even bigger smash hit that even further boosted the presence of Green Day. American Idiot stood out as it had individual songs with their own comments and messages, but together formed a rock opera that told a full story.
Well, it's Jesus of Suburbia is the main character throughout the record, where he just sort of gets he's disenfranchised, gets fed up with his hometown and his this local 7-Eleven where he hangs out and his friends and his family, and decides to just bail, just leave, and he ends up just trying to follow his ethics and his beliefs, and then comes across sort of a different kind of rebellion, a form of self-destruction at the same time, and sort of is trying to choose a path between the two.
The unique music style with an extended story resonated with the public, eventually even to the point where the album was adapted into a Broadway musical. American Idiot was special because it was unfiltered and talked about many issues that could be deemed as controversial. Most prominently, their dissatisfaction with the political world following the terrorist attacks on 9/11. By showing their true colors and not being afraid of controversy, Green Day gained a lot of respect. The opening track shares the same name as the album, American Idiot. While a lot of the album was about the post-9/11 world, American Idiot specifically focused on what the media looked like following the attack. A lot of people naturally responded to the attack with a feeling of fear, and when writing this song, Green Day believed that the media was using propaganda in order to control and prolong that fear, keeping the country in a state of hysteria. The people being filled with fear are ready to rally behind the government no matter what decision they make to try and help that fear be relieved. In reality, that blind following is more damaging than helpful, as it strips a lot of the free thinking, hence the title that Green Day gave these followers, An American Idiot. Put blunt and simply, lacking those critical thinking skills makes them idiots. They're not capable of anything that isn't moronic. Because the media has full control of all the idiots, this leads to a nation under the new media. Because everyone is a thoughtless idiot, the media controls the whole nation. As long as the media is in control of the people, they can push any idea they want and have that idea stick. In order to keep that control, they push the idea of fear, so the people never start thinking again, leading to the massive sound of hysteria that Armstrong mentions in the song. The people are scared and frightened, and in response to that fear, they stop thinking, and the media takes full advantage of that. This idea presented by the song shows a parallel to Orwell's 1984 novel, where a lot of the same things happen. There was a lot of confusion in the world after the terrorist attacks in 2001, and Green Day is trying to say that this fear is costing free thought and a free nation. American Idiot comes off as an aggressive song due to the title highlighting such an insult as the word idiot. But the song itself can even be a little playful with its ideas, one of the lyrics even being, "Do the propaganda," suggesting this form of manipulation as a dance. This contrast further criticizes the media, as it shows how they create hypocrisy as they embellish certain ideas to get people as afraid as possible, while they themselves are not afraid of those ideas and just reap the rewards that come from this fear. By making their song about the media share the same cynical tone as the media itself, Green Day created such a strong piece of social commentary that the song still remains relevant 20 years later.
Another really strong example of social commentary within the American Idiot album comes from the third song, Holiday. Still focused on the post-9/11 world, Holiday openly continues criticism about the American population, as well as showing dissatisfaction about President Bush's decisions and the war in the Middle East. Green Day is critical of American citizens by calling them lazy, as they showed willful blindness by allowing this pointless war to go on. The term coined for this laziness is the title of the song. These people are on holiday. It's not their problem. Why should they care? Again, Green Day believes that this apathy is good for no one and is only damaging to society. Green Day also criticizes people on the other extreme, who go too far into caring about politics and going mad. Aside from the Americans who had apathy, many had very strong opinions leaning in one way or the other. What was happening was the drum pounding out of time. There was a disconnect between the government and the people, and a disconnect between the people themselves. When a protester has crossed the line and actually tries to take a stand against the war, he goes to find the monies on the other side. He alone cannot make a difference, as the financial world surrounding the war is all that the government is concerned with. Whether innocent people live or die is of no concern, as money is what appears to be above all. The government has their own agenda, and a single person cannot do enough on their own to change that agenda. With these lyrics, Green Day is criticizing the Bush administration for pounding at a time with the people's best interest, as the war is destructive and is of no benefit to anyone. Despite this fact, many people are apathetic about the war. They are pounding out of time amongst themselves, and only one protester has crossed the line. There are not enough people backing up the idea enough to convince the government to change their agendas, and because of this, many people are out there suffering. What is special about Holiday is that it criticizes citizens just as much as it criticizes the government, and by attacking the average person, Green Day is effectively attacking their own listeners, making Holiday a prime example about how the band puts their message over what could be conventionally successful.
Green Day's success led to them receiving 4 Grammys, being inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2015, and, in 2024, the Library of Congress added Dookie to the National Recording Registry. Green Day's unique, outspoken identity led to success rather than hatred, with many resonating with the strong messages of their music. Reverence for their music is still seen in newer generations, with students involved with theater at Sacred Heart University planning to perform the American Idiot musical in spring of 2025. The group's newest album, Saviors, released in January of 2024, and they seem to show no signs of stopping despite how long their career has gone. Green Day also remains incredibly vocal with their political views. One particularly strong example comes from a live lyric change while performing American Idiot. Unbound by convention with their heart like a hand grenade at the front of what they do, Green Day is not just remembered for the quality of the music that they made, but the messages that their music represents.